Hello, Hola, Konnichiwa, Salaam, Ciao Namaste. Peace to all. This is Soulology, the science of the soul. And what we're going to talk about for today is asking yourself the question, do you really love yourself? 8 questions of that. And we'll be starting now, and of course, for the gemstone episodes, I know I usually do them on Mondays. We will be doing one though tomorrow. I wanted to make sure to get this out. I think it's vitally important one way or another. Now, the first question to think about when we talk about loving ourselves, because matter of fact, I'm sorry, before we even get into about loving ourselves, the question is, are you, when we talk about focusing on loving ourselves, taking care of ourselves, caring for who we are, most of the time we don't do that. We're most of the time taking care of other people because we think it's beneficial in some way that maybe they'll help us out, and that's not always the case. It's vitally important to take care of yourself first, because you can't help anyone until you've helped yourself. And that's the hard thing with most people. We're not willing to help ourselves first. We help everybody else out, but we never think about ourselves. And that's the importance, helping yourself. So, one being, of course, are you loving yourself? Are you loving others? And you have to ask yourself that question for the simple fact that, again, like I said, we're always helping everybody else out. We're always trying to make sure everybody else is okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But the most important vital step to making sure you can be capable of taking care of others is to take care of yourself first. Once you are taken care of, you don't have to worry. Nothing is frustrating you. Nothing's going through life. If you're taking care of yourself, you don't have to worry about those problems. Go ahead. Go right ahead and take care of everybody else. But you first have to start with self. 2. Are you taking care of yourself before others? And the reason why I said that, because loving yourself, you gotta work towards, or better yet, I think I've already mentioned in a sense, but let me add on to it then. Are you taking care of yourself, making sure that, for example, you have money for yourself? Or are you giving all your money to someone else because you're trying to help out maybe family or friends? Are you healthy? Are you feeding other people before yourself? You got to think about that. Your health. If you're not eating much or not at all, and you're feeding everybody else, of course, I will say that is noble to some degree. If it's your children, I can understand that. But at the same time, and of course, will and everything can shift that. Remember, not everything, this is not the only way. This is simply another way, in a sense. But taking care of yourself first, making sure your health, your wealth, your mind, your emotions, and everything else is in order before everybody else is vitally important. Because once it's in order, you can go forward with life. You don't have to worry about anything. And that's the thing that we have to keep in mind. It's taking care of ourselves first. Making sure we're healthy, because it can lead to high possibilities of stress in my own experience. That can be difficult. So take care of yourself. Are you, number 3, beating yourself up? Or are you lifting yourself up? Most of us in today's day and age, we beat ourselves up because maybe we feel we're not good enough, we're not pretty enough, we're not handsome enough, we're not bulk or strong enough, we're not the cleverest person. So we have a hard time being ourselves because we're always looking to fit in with everybody else instead of fitting in with ourselves. In my own experience, I was constantly like that, overthinking things about other people around me. Am I doing something wrong? Why don't they like me? Or this and that. And truth is, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks of you. The question is, what do you think of yourself? Do you love who you are? Do you love the person you're being? That is the question to ask yourself. Love is vitally important, and so is not judging who you are. When you're lifting yourself up, no matter the situation, the problems, the issues, you'll keep going forward. Instead of doing number 4, not letting go of past or past mistakes. Are you letting go of past or past mistakes? That's the question. A lot of us at times may not let go because of the fact of maybe a traumatic experience of how it's changed our own behavior. I know that's been my own experience with certain people I've been around. People can be crazy sometimes, and that's why you have to take time to yourself before anybody else. And forgive yourself for whatever's happened in your past or past mistakes. If you know truly that's not who you are and you are working to grow and love yourself, then you will continue blooming. No worries, no problem. But it first starts with growing yourself and letting go. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about past mistakes. Focus on the present of who you are being at this very moment. Are you being truly who you desire? Or are you worried about your past still? Number 5. Do you grow jealous of others? Sometimes we see, for example, the celebrity with the fancy car, the businessman with all the money, or the clever guy who has all the women and whatnot, and we can't understand, or better yet, the handsome person in a sense, is what we might say, that, or the pretty person as well, who might get all the men or the women or whatnot, though it usually doesn't happen that way for women. But we might think about that. And the only reason I said it doesn't happen because they already, women already get people like that. There's no need to be jealous. But the question is, are you being jealous? And why? You might be asking yourself, well, they have all this and they're doing all this. For example, there's been a situation that's been going on in today's society in America with several celebrities and wealthy people who have been cheating their way for their children to go to prestige universities. And some people may feel that's not fair to me. I want to go to that university or whatnot. That's a perfect example. Well, what you find that works for you to get into that university will make it happen, but you have to be willing to do the research and look forward into finding a way there. Don't worry about what those other people are doing. They're going to keep doing what they do anyways. Don't worry if you don't have the money that other person has. You're going to get the money anyways. That's if you so choose to get that money, gain that money. But if not, there's nothing you can do in a sense if you're worrying and going around in circles like a dog chasing its tail, being jealous of what other people are thinking, saying, and doing. Be who you are first. Love yourself, grow yourself, and focus on yourself because you deserve that. Don't you think? Do tell me, don't you deserve that? Tell me in the comments below that you do deserve that. Okay. I believe we're on number 6. Or, I'm sorry, number 7. Number 7, are you limiting yourself? Now you might be thinking, well, how am I doing that? You can limit yourself simply, and this was actually shown to me by someone. For example, our thoughts on money. We believe that if you work hard, or if you go to college, you'll earn a decent income of money. That's the way to earn money. There is no right or wrong way to earn money. Of course, there is this. Certain things you do to gain money can cause consequences, that's true. But there is no right or wrong way. You make the choice, you make the rules. When you limit yourself from gaining money, you put your hope in other ways, other things to gain money, hoping that some money will just show up out of nowhere. For example, when we talk about, and this was talked about by someone, I believe her name is Teal Swan, and this is a perfect example of this. When you put all your efforts in the lottery, you're wasting all your efforts because you are now believing in a sense that just like wanting, you're thinking lesser of what you are in your own wealth. So, that's just one limitation. Another limitation can be physically. Physically, you may think that if you do X, Y, and Z, it'll help you out. And of course, there are different exercises, different ways, and whatnot. Doesn't mean all of them work for you. However, there can be a few that may be beneficial to you, and you might quickly see weight loss or whatnot, or straightening in your body of muscle gain, or whatever helps. That even goes along with health. One of the things for me, even as a vegan, one of the biggest protein builders I eat is spirulina and peanut butter. I usually put them in smoothies and whatnot, and I eat it up. And the reason I do that, many people will tell you, you got to get your protein. You got to get your protein from meat. But what you have to realize is meat is a recycled protein from the real original source, which is plants. I've said this before. Amino acids from plants are the building blocks to what makes protein. We're not capable of making it. Animals aren't capable of making it. Only plants. When you get that protein, it builds up your energy. Now, of course, that does not mean that you have to follow exactly what I'm saying, because many people built them off meat and so on and so forth. But it's to think outside the box of limitations, because truth is, in my own experience, I used to think that. I need the protein so I can grow strong. But I was always tired. I was always exhausted. I'm always stressed out and whatnot. And then when I let that go and I started eating more a vegan lifestyle, my plant-based diet, it became much easier for me. I didn't worry too much because I was building a lot easier. But my workouts consist of cardio, weightlifting, and yoga. And I constantly did that in motion, and I still do. What energy are you putting in yourself? And last but not least, do you know you're worthy? Most of us may not see ourselves as something special because we've been told maybe by people that we're not, or we've been told we're horrible people, or whatever people, and this goes again hand in hand in a sense with past mistakes in our past. But if you knew who you were, you'd smile a lot more knowing that you're worthy of anything. Don't let anyone tell you, in a sense, that if you don't have the money, or if you don't have the power, if you don't have this and that, you're not like us, you're not good enough. You're good enough if you choose to be good enough. And when you see the worth in you, no matter what you do in life, you'll see the worth in that and create it. Because that is your choice, that maybe that's your dream, your goal, your life, of who you're being. So, what does this have to do with the soul, though? Love is the highest version of what the soul truly is in itself. When you are being your love, you are being a piece, if not even a piece, I'm sorry. You are being your higher self at its highest form. So in conclusion, love yourself first. Know how important it is to take care of yourself, love yourself, know how worthy you are, and not worry about your past mistakes. And realize that you are the gods, the goddesses, and the creators within. And to know thyself is to know the creator within, who you truly are. So to everybody out there, have a good morning, a great afternoon, and a fantastic evening. To everybody, peace and namaste.